Hello and welcome to the first in a series of videos where I'll be listing my top 5 favourite episodes for each Doctor. Today we'll be starting off with the first Doctor, played by William Hartnell. And then I will make my way through each Doctor till we make it to the present. While I have prepared lists for all of them, I am prepared to edit Jodie Whittaker's list if there are any stories in Series 13 that I think deserve a spot, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The first Doctor's era is one that's definitely grown on me as I've gotten older, and I'll be interested to see what other people make of his era, so be sure to leave your top 5s in the comments below. But before we begin, if you haven't already, please support this channel by hitting the subscribe button, as well as the notifications bell to stay up to date on the content I release. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a like, and you can always find and follow me on Twitter at the above links here, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Number 5, The Aztecs, Season 1, Serial 6. Just a quick spoiler, expect a lot of pure historicals on this list. The Aztecs is notable for being one of the first times Doctor Who tackled the subject of altering history and its consequences. Having Barbara come face to face with a dark period in Earth's past, and being in a position to actually do something about it and try and change it for the better, leads to a very compelling conflict between her and the Doctor. Like most of the historicals of this era, the story does an excellent job in regards to characterization, for both our lead characters as well as the guest cast. This is a particular high point for Barbara as a character, though sadly Susan isn't given much to do here. While this is a fairly serious story with a bittersweet ending, there are some moments of levity throughout, and we get to see some more lighter moments from the first Doctor during his early days, such as his relationship with Kameka. Number 4, Marco Polo, Season 1, Serial 4.
I wonder where they are now. The past or the future?
A common complaint people have about classic Doctor Who is that certain episodes feel padded and too long. Marco Polo is a story where they take full advantage of its 7-part structure, make every episode count, and not feel like filler. Since the story takes place over the course of several months and is set in a variety of locations, it is able to stay fresh as we get a chance to explore the fascinating history of ancient China. As the first celebrity historical, it's interesting that they take the route of depicting Marco as not really a villain, but an antagonist to our main characters. It's because of his actions that they lose access to the TARDIS. It's a dynamic which isn't explored all too often. Maybe it's something that we could see in future historicals, seeing more villainous famous figures. Sadly, we no longer have the footage for this episode, so we can only imagine what it would have looked like, going off the stills and the audio. Hopefully one day it will return, but for now it's still a strong story regardless. Number 3, The Dalek Invasion of Earth, Season 2, Serial 2. I thought it would be right to include at least one Dalek story on this list, and out of all the great stories they had during the first Doctor's run, this is definitely my favourite. While their first serial established a lot of their characteristics, Dalek Invasion of Earth refined a lot of the elements we would see in future Dalek stories, and does a great job depicting a world under their rule, giving us some iconic imagery. It also serves to show just how much our main characters, particularly the Doctor, have grown since their first encounter with the Daleks in such a short space of time, going from a fairly selfish and aggressive character to being a more heroic figure. Looking back at the 60 stories, it's amazing to see how well written and developed all the characters are. In particular, Susan is finally given an opportunity to shine for her final episode, with the Doctor's speech at the end to her being one of the most iconic moments of the show.
Just go forward in all your beliefs and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine.
Number 2, The Gunfighters, Season 3, Serial 7. The Gunfighters is so much fun. Bad accents and the many renditions of The Last Chance Saloon included. It's a welcome change of pace in Season 3. It's also nice to see a later story in Hartnell's run where he is both present for the entire story, but he also seems to be actually enjoying himself. Given all the behind the scenes issues that were occurring at this point, it's nice that he was still able to enjoy playing the Doctor at least once or twice before he left.
This is your humble servant, Dr. Caligari.
Doctor Who?
Yes, you're quite right.
Also, I feel this is one of the stronger outings for the late Jackie Lane as Dodo. In a story which is supposed to be a musical, but only has one song, and has an episode called Don't Shoot the Pianist, it's hard not to enjoy the Gunfighters at least on some level, even if it is ironically. Before we get to number 1, here are a couple of honourable mentions. The War Machines. While I'm not a huge fan of present-day Earth stories, I think because it was such a rare case in the Hartnell era, it was a nice change of scenery. Plus, you can see it as the sort of starting point for the Pertwee era, or at least its inspiration, I suppose. The Chase. Probably the most underrated of the Hartnell era Dalek stories. It was a really fitting send-off for Ian and Barbara, and is probably one of the funniest episodes of the show. The 10th Planet. A really strong introduction to the Cybermen, and a surprisingly somber send-off for the First Doctor. And my number 1 favourite First Doctor story is The Romans, Season 2, Serial 4. From one comedy pure historical to another. You know, I really wish they would bring back pure historicals at some point. I resent the fact that people call them boring. It's definitely not true. As much as people call the First Doctor very stern and serious, stories like this really help to bring out his more light-hearted side. Hartnell just has so many great moments in this serial, from pretending to play the harp in front of everyone, to the very unsubtle hinting to Nero that he knows about the plan to kill him. Season 1 didn't really do a great job with Susan, so Season 2 picks up the slack with the character of Vicky.
Oh, something else I forgot to tell you. I think I've poisoned Nero.
Really? What?
She's definitely more of an active character than Susan, and has a lot more to do in these stories. The Romans allows the main characters an opportunity to take time and enjoy themselves before the plot kicks in, something which is sadly lost in the more fast-paced episodes of later eras. A key example of this being giving Ian and Barbara an opportunity to show off how much great chemistry the two of them have. And there we have it, my favourite episodes of the First Doctor era. Let me know your top 5s in the comments below, and whether or not you'd like to see me talk about my 5 least favourite episodes of the Hartnell era. Thank you very much for watching, and be sure to join me next time when I'll be looking at the top 5 episodes of the Second Doctor era. Just one more thing before I go. If there's any Doctor Who related content, any specific episodes you'd like me to talk about on this channel, then please let me know in the comments. I'm always interested in having new video topics, so I'm open to any suggestions. Thank you very much.